Right, more admin points, game rules. Again, we'll fly through these nice and quickly because they're quite obvious. Event t-shirts need to be worn at all times, okay? When you register, you'll be given a t-shirt for your colour, blue or red, and you've got to wear, when you're in the game, you've got to wear it at all times. It needs to be in clear view. So if you're wearing basically just wear a t-shirt. Loads of people ask, is it a problem with the tack vest? It's not a problem with the tack vest at all. You just put the tack vest on top. If you think about it, in most games you wear an armband. Well, if you've got a tack vest here, okay, here or here, you can still see all of the t-shirt arms. It's still miles better than an armband. And most tack vests you can still see underneath, and you can see the bottom as well. So wearing a tack vest over the top of the t-shirt is not a problem. But don't go cutting off the t-shirt arms or anything like that. It needs to be worn in clear view. All around the site is covered in CCTV and audio speakers and stuff like that. Don't shoot them because the MOD will go mental. There's also around the site, there's loads of tanks and stuff rusting away, hulks of them. Don't crawl inside them because they're full of all sorts of nasty stuff. And also, what soldiers do when they finish training there is they dump all their ammo inside it. It saves you having to carry it back and run with it. So basically those tanks are full of all sorts of nasty stuff. We'll be filling it with pyro and petrol and setting them on fire as well. So don't crawl inside them and fall asleep. I smelled burning flesh before. It's not nice. I don't want to smell it again. So try not to go. Try not to go inside those. If you find any ammunition, which you almost certainly will. Last time we were there, there's guys wandering around in massive belts of 7.62 and stuff. Yeah. If you find any ammunition, it's against the law to keep it, and it's against the law to remove it off site. What you have to do is hand it in at registration. So if you find any bullets, any rounds, anything like that lying about, if you think it's dangerous, don't touch it. If you want to pick it up, bring it back to registration. Yeah? Don't nick it, don't take it off site. If you're drunk, don't play. We'll have some breathalyzers, we'll be doing random testing. We'll be using the legal drink driving limit in the UK. I'm not getting into arguments about what that is. You can Google it, you can find out what it is. The breathalyzers we've got beep if you're over the drink driving limit. If you're found in a game with a gun and you give a breathalyzer and you're over it, you'll be off straight away. So be sensible. Don't nick any of the game infrastructure. Part of the game infrastructure involves people punching cards and all that sort of stuff. Don't nick it. It's annoying. It breaks the game down and just spoils it for everyone else. Don't shoot the UAVs. We've got 3 in total UAVs, a mixture of fixed wing, so they'll be flying on a predetermined GPS course over at quite high altitude and relaying back video. And then the other ones are rotors, basically like mini helicopters. And again, they'll be feeding video back. Don't shoot them. 2 reasons. Number 1, they're bloody expensive, right? They cost a fortune and I'll go mental if anyone breaks them. Number 2, if you shoot something out of the sky, it's only going one way and that's down and that can land on a player. So there's an obvious safety reason for not shooting them as well. But the main reason is you should be very scared of me if you shoot one of my UAVs. Mortars. Some of you will be using mortars. We've got 8 mortar tubes. These will be launching smoke bombs over 100 meters. Some of you will get to use these, fantastic fun. You'll be given training before you use them, so if you're part of a mortar team, you get given a mission, we'll give you training first. But be sensible, you'll kill someone, right? If you put a mortar on your shoulder or shoot it at somebody at close range, you'll kill them. So you must only use the mortars in accordance with the training that we give you. Other cool things that we'll have catapults launching in big paint bombs. We'll also have flamethrowers as well. So all these sort of things. With the flamethrowers and the catapults, it will contain a liquid, and if as a player you're splashed with any of those, you'll be out to be like a paintball. RCXDs will have remote control cars flying around with a bit of pyro on and stuff like that, and they'll be going into buildings. Do not shoot my remote control cars. They cost money, yeah, and they'll have cameras and stuff like that, and they're cool. We want everyone to have a go and have a play. Don't shoot them, yeah, because it just spoils it for everyone else. And it'll make me go mad. Right, you can't enter the game area unless you're coming from the safe area. So you can't step out of the camp in and straight into the game. Okay, you always go into the game via the same route, which will be obvious when you get to the site. The respawns will be electronic flags. They'll have a button on, okay? So they'll have big high intensity lights on, and they'll either be red or blue. Clearly when they're red, that's for the red team to respawn. When they're blue, that's for the blue team. Players are not allowed to flick the respawn switches, okay? You're not allowed to touch the respawn switches. That's for us to control the game. And any player seen switching the respawn switches will be classed as cheating. You'll be off. Several areas are out of bounds. Look at your game map. The church is out of bounds. So is the low skills house, which is also out of bounds. Have a look at your game map. They're marked in red and they're quite obvious. Your paint boxes, when you finish with them, if you can flatten them, that would be great. Pile them up by the side of the skip. Don't skip them in the skip. We need them to set fire to tanks. So So yeah, don't chuck them away. Put them nice and neat by the side of the skip, please. Right, if you hear an air raid siren going off across the town, and you won't miss it because it's ear-splittingly loud, that'll mean there's an airstrike, and that means all players have to get off the street. They've got 30 seconds. So if you hear the air siren, you want to get straight into a building. You can still fight. You can fight in the building. You can shoot from building to building, do whatever you want to do. After 30 seconds, any players out in the open in the streets will be immediately eliminated. The second air raid siren will mean that you come back out and start fighting in the streets again. Right, some of the rules are night games. The night games will be mental. It'll be insane. I'll build a picture for you. You'll have 800 guys with guns in the dark in a town shooting at each other. There'll be tracer rounds flying off. There'll be explosions going overhead. We'll be launching up pyro from mortars, and they'll be exploding overhead. There'll be rockets going off. There'll be massive, massive pyros going off in the town itself. Huge fireball explosions. On top of that, as if that's not good enough, we've got about 7 or 8 tanks, Russian T, whatever they are, tanks. We'll be filling them full of petrol, pyro and cardboard. We'll blow them up, and they'll be burning all the way around the town. They'll be playing in. It'll be thick with smoke, and the light will just be from these burning tanks. We'll have searchlights and all this sort of stuff as well. So it'd be very, very intense, really, really intense, extraordinarily exciting. But it's not everyone's cup of tea. You know, it's pretty hardcore. Some of the games, when you register, there are some of the rules. When you register, you'll be given, I call them silooms. Other people call them glow sticks. So if you come on the Friday, you'll be given 2. One for the Friday night, one for the Saturday night. If you come on Saturday, you'll be given 1, obviously. If you lose those, you'll have to replace them, and I think they're £1 each to replace. You can't play in the night game unless you've got your glow stick on, and the rule is you have to wear your glow stick. If you've lost it or you've broken it, you need to go and buy another one from registration. Your glow stick needs to be attached to the front of your body, above your waist, but below your neck, and I'll explain that. Your glow stick can't be on your back, okay? It can't be on the side, it needs to be on the front of your body, that's your chest. It needs to be above your waist, that means it needs to be above your belt, but below your neck, so you can't put it on the top of your mask. We don't want guys attaching them to your mask, because that's where people are going to aim at, and clearly you don't want people, 50 guys, 400 guys shooting you in the head. So it needs to be below there and above your waist and on the front. You can tape it, you can cable tie it, you can put it on your, however you want to do it, it's up to you. Yeah? But, that's where the glow sticks need to be. We conducted some research with our customers, and the vast majority voted that they do not want players to be using lasers in the night game. Therefore, lasers are banned from the night game. There's a safety reason for that. Too many of them are Chinese imports, which are completely unregulated, and they're a danger to eyesight. So absolutely no lasers are allowed to be used by players in the night games. However, that doesn't mean that us organisers can't use them, and they'll very, very much be part of the night game experience. And yeah, the burning tanks and stuff like that, don't use them as cover. I mentioned earlier that soldiers dump loads of ammo in there to save them carrying it at the end of an exercise. So quite often when we set the tanks up, we'll set them up on fire for a little while beforehand. So if there's any munitions in there, that'll explode without killing anyone. But obviously it's a burning tank, do you know what I mean? So don't use it as cover, don't climb on top of it, because it might be full of nasty stuff and might be the last thing you do. Yeah, that's it for the game rules, okay.